Hey everyone, welcome to our overview video. Today we're going to be looking at DayManager and kind of giving you an overview of it. Now, if you haven't watched already, if you've downloaded DayManager from a trial and you want to try it out, there is a video for configuration and setup, and you'll want to look at that. We go into details on how to configure. This is just going to be an overview and showing you how to do a few things with the product. So let's dive into the other screen. All right, so this is kind of the new layout of the calendar with the DayManager overview. You'll see here we've got a timeline here that actually shows the time of day, and the solid block there actually shows you what day you're on. So that solid block for tomorrow will move over to Tuesday, and then you'll have dotted lines or dashed lines on either side of that. You'll also notice up at the top, we can select different users. I can click on all tabs, or users in tabs, sorry, and then that will allow me to jump from different individuals. And this is super handy, being able to jump from Gary to Jared and to Tanya, and you can see that they have different colors. And in the configuration in here, I'll just quickly go into DayManager settings. You can set up each user with a different color, which is really handy. You can also set up time block templates. Again, this is in the setup. Email reminders, that's also in the setup. You can show darkened lines, and that's what this is right across here, these dark lines. It just makes it a little easier to kind of run your eye across a work week, which is where I spend most of my time on my calendar. So you've got these user tabs are really handy, and if you wanted to see everybody's tabs, because I've got color coded for each individual, you can see that each individual has a different color code, and their user initials are in the front, and then you can actually see who the person is actually booked for. So it just gives you kind of a really good quick look at who's doing what, or you can just jump onto each person's calendar like this. This is what I do. I usually use these calendars really quickly, and I can just jump back and forth and see if they have some time open for me or what have you, or if I'm maybe booking an appointment for someone else. And so they become super handy. The other thing that you can do with this, when you actually do a calendared item, there's a bunch of different things you can do. Now we're just going to start off with the actual calendar. So I'm going to start off with Dentist Hope here. We're going to open this up, and I've got a few different things that I can do. I've got this little checkbox here that says tentative, and when I check that off, and let me just move this out of the way, you can see how these all have solid lines down the left-hand side. So if I click that on tentative and press OK, you'll see that it turns to a crosshatch so that you know that that one's not a confirmed time. And you can just, once you're finished that, once you have a time confirmed, you can actually click that off and press OK, and then that becomes a solid line. So that's one of the things you can do. You also have in here travel time. Now, travel time in here is just prior to going, not time going from that meeting to another meeting. So if I wanted to say, hey, I'm going to be going, it's going to take me about 15 minutes to get there, I can set a 15-minute ring alarm time. I'm not going to do that, but I can set an alarm time that will bug me 15 minutes ahead of time. And then when I go over there and press OK, it's actually going to block off that travel time right there. And so now I can get an idea that, okay, I want to make sure I keep enough room in between wherever I have to go, especially if I'm traveling. I've got that ability to do that. Okay, so we got travel time, we got tentative. We also have some other little features in here like shared task. I'm not going to get into that because this is a new item that we're just beta testing right now, and I'm not going to get into that right at the moment. But we can go into details, and into details we have this thing called objectives. So I've got some stuff in here. I'm just going to kind of take that out. But let's just say we're going to book something up. And I want to kind of pre-plan, well, what is this meeting going to be about? What are my objectives? What do I want to accomplish? What is my agenda, for an example? And you can add as many things as you want. Now, I just got coffee and clothes, but you can go in here and edit this, and you can add as many things as you want in here. I'm just going to type in test 1, test 2, And you can add as many things as you want. Then all I have to do is click finish. Now I have my selection. I can select coffee, close, say test 2, press OK. Automatically fills in. So add to your objectives list whatever it is you want to have on the agenda of things that you're going to accomplish when you have this call, meeting to do, or Zoom meeting, whatever kind of activity type that you want to have. Put those in, and once you've done that, it's already entered it. Press OK, and you're good to go. Now the next thing we can do is we can open this up and we can go to reminders. So if I want to set a reminder up for this individual, first of all, I'm going to take this, and I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to do Mike Young here, and I'm going to change this from a to-do to a Zoom meeting. And Zoom meeting, oh, I threw an extra E in there messing around. Okay, let's carry on. So we got Zoom meeting, and I want to go to reminders, and automatically, if I go in here and say set up reminder, it automatically will set up the Zoom meeting. You can set defaults to this so that each thing that you're actually doing, whether it's a call, a meeting to do, a Zoom meeting, whatever it is, you can have a default template that goes with this. So you can see this is a reminder that we have a Zoom meeting. It could be this is a reminder that we have a to-do, or whatever the case may be. And then it merges in the date, the time, and the activity, what it's regarding, and merges that in. And again, have a look at the setup video to show you exactly how to drill that down. And so I've got a reminder that's automatically going to go out, and this is based on my default. I've set it up so that it will send out a reminder a day before. Then it's going to send out a reminder an hour before the Zoom meeting. If this was some other kind of meeting that you may have, maybe you want to send it out a week ahead because maybe you booked it 4 months in advance, or a year in advance, or half a year in advance, and you want to be able to have it sent out a reminder maybe a couple of weeks before. You can do that as well by just choosing this third one here and saying, okay, I want to have this, a week, 2 weeks before, just to make sure everything is okay, and then you can drill it down. So you set up whatever parameters you want for your defaults. I've got this set up this way. So once I set this all up and book it and press OK, then that is actually going to send out a meeting for that. So I'm just going to press OK here. And so now it's going to actually send out an email a day before Mike Young. Hopefully his email address is okay and not going to bother somebody else. Anyways, it's going to send out a reminder. And so that's one of the other things we have is reminders in here, which is super handy. It just saves a lot of calling around and playing phone tennis back and forth, trying to nail each person down. All right, so we've got that, and there's merge fields in here, and you can format this any way you want, and you can actually preview the email if you wish. Now, the one thing, and that's one of the things that we have in there is the reminders, and as far as going into the actual activity, that's pretty much it. You've got everything I've just shown you here, but now what I want to show you is what we call time blocking, and time blocking is a huge thing. And we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to do the layering in accomplishing this specific goal that we had to do this. So basically, when I go in here, I've set up some pre-set up time blocks. Now, a time block is a block of time. It can be for a whole day, a portion of the day, and it can be repeated over on a regular basis. You figure out what you want to do. But for an example, I may have Tuesdays and Thursdays are sales calls from whatever time to whatever time, and I want to be consistent in that. Or I may have client follow up on a specific day and time, and I can do that as well. So let me just add one in here. I'm going to add in here, and I've already added these in, and again, watch the setup video to see how I do that. But I'm going to do sales calls, and I'm going to do this on 14th. And I'm going to do this from, let's say, 10 o'clock to noon. And I can go in here to reoccurrence. So if I want that recurred just once, or daily, or weekly, you set up whatever parameters you want. I'll just leave it for that specific day. And then I'm going to add in, let's say here on, let's do business development, and we're going to do that on Wednesday, the 15th. And I'm going to do that for, let's say that's going to go from 9:30 to 2:30, let's say. And then when I press OK and I press OK, you'll see that it blocks off the time, but you'll see it's underneath. There's a layer. So it actually shows by the color, and then there's enough room on the side you can see how far down that goes. So I could take this one and say, okay, we need to make sure that that doesn't go beyond there. And then there's my business development. And so what I would do is put tasks on those time blocks that are specific to that particular time block. So if these are sales calls, I would have a longer sales call thing, and I would drag those over, and then I would have space for business development, space for sales calls. And if I wanted to add another one in here, and you can add whatever you want, go in here and let's say marketing. And let's just say my Friday is going to be my marketing day, and I'm going to go over to Friday, and I'm going to do that right from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And I could set an alarm so it reminds me. Typically, you use the alarm if there's multiple time blocks within a particular day. And so there, I've got that blocked off now for marketing. I might choose a different color just so that the blue that I'm using doesn't kind of go over that. And each individual, so Tanya can have her own time blocks. You'll see she doesn't have any time blocks there. Jared doesn't have any time blocks. But you can add, each individual can add their own time blocks and manage their own calendar. So whether you're doing time blocking, whether you're doing email reminders out to your clients and prospects for the activities that you're scheduling, whether you're color coding your users that are using your ACT database, whether you want to set up travel time, it has all these different features in there that can just make your life a lot easier, a lot more succinct as far as managing your specific time and your calendar, and being able to view and see your other users in your database, see their calendar, and be able to just have this better synergy. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments area. And there is a link in the description there to trial DayManager. If you haven't trialed it, give it a try, see what you think, and let us know. And hopefully this video has been helpful to you. Have yourself a great day. We'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.